Hey everybody. Wanted to do a quick video just to show you how I go about tracking out guitars. In particular, tracking out distorted guitars. I run direct and I use these VST amp simulations. I use Amplitube, which you see right here on my screen, and Bias Effects. Recording wise, I just find that the convenience of running direct and using these amp simulations, I just love it. And I actually think they sound great. So this is a song with my brothers, the band, the project that I'm in with them called Finding Parnell, and the song's called Lines and Circles. We're in the very beginning stages of this song. My brother has sent me a stereo track of the drums for me to record my rhythm guitar tracks to. So that's what you're going to hear here. There's not a lot of production on the drums. They're pretty straightforward. And you'll hear my guitars with that drum track. The guitar I use, the song's in drop C. And so the guitar I used is right back over here, and that's that Dave Mustaine signature Flying V, and I am a sucker for Flying Vs, and I love that guitar. My process for recording guitars, and I'll kind of show you, like I said, running direct, you're going to see me using Amplitube here. You're going to see 4 tracks, right? These tracks I have highlighted, and this is the big chorus part, kind of the loudest part of the song, with all the kind of guitars going. You're going to see I got 2 running left and 2 running right. And what I do, if you come down here and you look at my panning, and in parts like this, big chorus parts with layered guitars, I tend to run hard left and hard right. You can see I'm at 100%. A lot of this could change as I actually get the bass guitar, the other guitars of the song from my brother in here. But most generally, I bet this doesn't change. In the choruses, I tend to keep the rhythm guitars way out there in the stereo field. I actually play these 4 separate takes. You can copy and paste, but I don't recommend it. I just don't think they sound as full, and you run into phasing issues. I mean, there's things you can do that you could try to correct for that phasing issue. You can nudge just by a microsecond, just so they're not in exact sync with each other. The other thing you could do is at least in Pro Tools, I'm sure you can do this in several other DAWs, but you can come up and you could do what's called invert the waveform. There's just a simple thing here where you click invert and you apply it. I don't like how any of that sounds. And I'll tell you, I've seen videos about this of guys doing this with, say, like doubling up vocal tracks, doubling up guitar tracks and things like that. For my ears, it just never sounds organic. It never sounds natural. To me, it starts to, if this makes any sense, it starts to sound pretty digital, and it just doesn't sound right. So I've just never cared for it. I think the best thing is to have the imperfections of literally playing the tracks independently. It's all those little minute, imperceptible almost human variances between the takes that make it more pleasing to the ear and make it sound fuller. Now, a lot of times I will actually, between these tracks, I will play different guitars. I have all these guitars, but like I said, on this song, since it's in that low drop C tuning, it's really only that Dean Flying V that I just think sounds good with that tuning, with those thick strings and all that. It holds the tuning well. It's just got a beefy neck on it, and it just works. So while I kept the same guitar and I played each take separately, you'll start to see that I did different things with the amps and different things with the EQs on the amps to help build that sonic stack. You're going to see that I've done nothing. I mean, you're hearing the direct guitar into the amp simulation with no other production, nothing else going on, except all I've done is I've gone and notched out the harsh frequencies. That's the only other thing I've done here. All right. Well, let's take a look. We're going to start with left, and we're going to start with the main guitar on my left stereo field in this song. And we're in the chorus, the big chorus where everything is, big, loud, and kind of in your face. I am using the Rockerverb 50 MK2 model from Amplitube. My settings here, you can see them. You're also going to see that I tend to record right around, I want to be under -10. And how I go about doing that is a combination between my interface, what I set the gain input on my interface, but I also do it here by the output. And I really hardly ever use the input, mess with the input, but this output, and I will just kind of turn this down to get that signal coming in where I want nice and low, so I have plenty of headroom as I continue to mix. So let's take a listen here. I'm going to have this set up so that we hear the drum track and you can hear my guitars. You're going to see not much gain. And so once I kind of get the context of the song, I'll tend to adjust here as well. But just as a starting point, you're going to kind of see this is where I'm at with that gain just a little bit past 2 o'clock. Bass is at 11, mids at 11, trebles at 1 o'clock. Let's see what this is sounding like. Okay, not a lot going on, right? Pretty just straightforward. Like I said, there's just not a whole lot going on. But again, not super distorted. The key here is that as I'm stacking these, all that's going to build up. And I think what you're going to see towards the end is you're going to see that building these and stacking these on top of each other is what starts to really build that bigger sound without just a lot of harshness. Now, let's open up my main right side. So now you're seeing that that orange was my main left guitar. Now my main right guitar is this Mesa Boogie. Different amp, right? Similar EQ, but totally different amp, totally different sound. And it's driving the right side of my stereo field. So if I just run it by itself, it sounds like this. Okay, so now let's hear the orange again. There's that orange. Back over to the Mesa. Orange. Okay, now let's hear them together. Here. Now, in context with the drums. Okay, so just the orange. Just the Mesa. Together. So that's my two main, left, right. And now I'm going to kind of weave this all together by propping up the left and the right respectively. So let's take a look and see, again, my main left is the orange. And now my propping up that orange on the left is the Mesa again, but not with the same settings. So there's main orange with the Mesa propping it up in the left, but the left Mesa is not the same as the original right Mesa. So here's my right Mesa, here's my left Mesa. And you're going to see the difference here, right? So you're going to see that my left one is kind of propping up now. It's not the main. So I've backed off the gain a little bit, went from about 1 o'clock to about noon. I've backed off the presence a little bit, again, from like 1 o'clock to noon. Backed off the bass a touch. I've boosted the mids a touch, and I've backed off the treble some. So not, again, because I want these EQs a little different so that they're not interfering with each other. So now let's just hear it by itself. Right? Okay, let's bring in the orange with it. And that's got my left side now. There's the orange being backed up, kind of propped up by the mesa. Now, you guessed it, if we're going to come down now and we're going to listen to what's propping up the right. If you recall, my main amp on the right is this mesa. And I'm sure you can guess by now what the main amp is going to be backed up with on the right. And that is going to be another orange, but not the same as the original orange. So the main orange over here on the left versus the kind of prop up orange on the right. You can see here I've backed off the treble. I've backed off the mids. I've backed off the bass. And even backed off the gain on this one a little more. Now, when you hear this one by itself, this is what's propping up that mesa here on the right. Mesa. And so now you hear them both together. There they are together. All right. So now all the amps together sound like this. So, we'll just build main left, main right, prop up the left, prop up the right. That's that. That is the process for me of stacking and kind of weaving these 4 guitar tracks together. Hey, I hope this was helpful. I hope maybe you learned something for this, or it helps you out on how you go about this. You know, for my ears, that's a really good start. So if you thought this was helpful, please give it a like, drop me a comment, tell me if you have other ideas or thoughts or questions about this. Happy to try to help you out. Also, hey, shameless plug, check out my music. You can just, look at my YouTube page. You can find different links and things. We're on Spotify and everywhere else, but my solo project is Ratios of Compression, and then the project with my brothers is Finding Parnell. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful. We'll see you later. Go make some music. Bye.